Here, we're working on simplifying square roots, and it's going to be square roots of a negative number. So I mentioned before that square roots usually work with positive numbers. In this case, we start off with negative 36. So what we're going to do is basically using this square root of negative 1. I'm going to split negative 36 into two numbers, making 36 into a positive, like this, and it's going to be multiplying with the square root of negative 1. So we know that 36 times negative 1 is negative 36. Now I'm just going backwards, splitting, so that way I can do the square root of a positive number. Now, when we're doing square root here, we're mainly going to be working with the principal root. So when I'm doing the square root of 36, this is just going to be a positive 6. That's it. Again, we're doing the principal root. So again, if I'm asking you to simplify, we're just doing the principal root. But if I'm asking you to solve, then in some cases you might have to incorporate plus and minus for the answer. And then over here, square root of negative 1, you just rewrite it as what you see here, which is I. So it's basically 6 times I, 6I. And that is my final answer. So when you're simplifying with square roots, first goal is factor out, take out negative 1, and make the other number positive. And then simplify the square root of the positive number as usual in the previous section. Then just convert square root of negative 1 into I, and then what you have after you square root the positive number, just multiply to I, and that's your final answer. In this second example, we have the square root of negative 20. So I'm just going to repeat the process I did before. Take out the negative 1, so my positive number is square root of positive 20 times square root of negative 1. So again, I just took out the negative 1 and make this become positive 20. Next, we're going to simplify the positive number. Now, you can't do the square root of 20 because it's not a perfect square. But, as before, in the previous section, we were able to simplify. Here, I'm going to split into the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. Because 4 times 5 is 20, while 4 is a perfect square number. The square root of 4 is 2, whereas the square root of 5, not much you can do, so I'm just going to write square root of 5. Now for the square root of negative 1, you're just going to rewrite it as what you have here, which is just I multiplying to 2 square root of 5. So usually we're going to put the I behind the whole number, which is the 2. So my final answer is 2I and then square root of 5. So any number that you were able to do the square root, we're going to put I behind it. Or basically put I in front of the square root. And this is our final answer. So that's all you have to do when you're simplifying square root of negative numbers.